Moving on to the continuation of the previous class, we are going to see nursing care of newborn and family, as well as the assessment, how we are going to assess. So moving on to the first one, assessment of newborn. So assessment of the newborn we have divided into physical assessment of newborn following delivery can be divided into 4 phases. So over these 4 phases, the first one is initial assessment using the Apgar scoring system. Second one is the transitional assessment during the period of reactivity. And third one is the assessment of gestational age. And the fourth one is systematic physical assessment, which is routinely we used to do in the clinical postings. So these are the 4 types of assessment of newborn. The first one is initial assessment using the Apgar score soon after the birth. Second one is transitional assessment during the period of reactivity. Then third one is assessment of gestational age, and fourth one is systematic physical assessment. So moving on to the first one, initial assessment, Apgar scoring. So we know already very well. This is most frequently used method to assess the newborn's immediate adjustment to extrauterine life. So soon after the birth, the child fetal circulation are not actively participating in the circulation, just it is circulating with the help of the placental support. Now, soon after the birth, how best the child is getting adjusted to the extrauterine life in some focused point. The score is based on observation of heart rate, respiratory effort, muscle tone, reflexes, irritability, then color. So these are the 5 main things which will be observed to see that the child has been adjusted to the extrauterine life. So each item is given a score of 0, 1 or 2. Clear? So it will be present like this. Apgar score, respiration, which is we are going to check the crying, then reflexes, we are going to check the irritability, pulse for the heart rate, then skin color of the body and extremities, then muscle tone. So over this criteria, color, the first one we are checking, giving the score of 0, 1 and 2. So color, if you are checking, if the color is pink, sorry, the color is, the child color is play or pale or blue, or we can say it as cyanosis, the score is 0. Or if the color is so pale or blue, the score is 0. Same thing if the color is if the color is pink, body is pink and blue extremities, that is acrocyanosis, we are going to give the score as 1. If the child color is completely, if the child color is completely pink body, no cyanosis or acrocyanosis, we are going to give the score as 2. This we are going to check in the concept of color. This is we are going to check in the concept of color. So completely the color indicate this is the concept. Okay, so moving on to the next one. Next one is the heart rate. So heart rate, we are going to check the pulse. So here in the heart rate we are going to check the pulse. So in this pulse we are going to check if the pulse is absent. Okay, if the pulse is absent or very low, extremely low, we can able to give 0. And if the pulse rate is less than 100, we are going to give 1. And if the heart rate is greater than 100, or the normal rate of the heart beats 120 to 140, which indicates the child is having normal pulse rate or heart beats. So here we are going to give the score as 2. So by this we had completed the heart rate scoring system. Okay, moving on to the third one. Third one is the respiration. So over this respiration, if you are saying for the respiration, we are going to check that cry. If the child is not crying, there is no cry is present, so we are going to give the score as 0. The child is not crying. So moving on to the concept. So the next one, respiration. If the child cries, which indicate the respiratory rate was absent. So our score is 0. Then if the child is having slow or irregular or shrill cry, we are going to give a score of 1. If a child cries actively and good breathing pattern is present, we are going to give a score of 2. So this is about the respiration or cry. Next, we are moving to the reflexes. Moving to the reflexes, so that is reflexes response. So here, if the child doesn't respond to this one, the score will be absent or the score will be 0. If the child have a grimace or noticeable facial movement but weak response, we can able to give the score of 1. If the child was actively coughs or sneeze or pulls away, we are going to give a score of 2. So this is about reflexes response. Okay, then moving on to the last one. Last one is the muscle tone. So over the muscle tone, if you're seeing the muscle tone, which is absent, we are going to give a score of 0, and some flexions are present or extremities. That is, after pulling the legs, the child has to always maintain the flexing position. But here, only some flexions. Completely it is not having the reflex, or completely it is not recoiling the flexion. We are going to give a score of 1. If actively have the movements, actively recoils back to the previous position, we are going to give a score of 2. So this is about Apgar scoring. Next, we are moving to the initial assessment. So over the initial assessment, if you are seeing initial assessment, evaluation of all 5 categories are made at 1 minute and 5 minutes after birth and repeated until the infant's condition stabilized. Total score if the child condition is improved at the 1 minute and 5 minutes. Then total score of 0 to 3 represents severe distress, score of 4 to 6 significantly moderate difficulty in adjusting to the extrauterine life. Then score of 7 to 10 indicates the child was not having any difficulty in adjusting to the extrauterine life. Okay, then moving on to the Apgar score, how it has been affected by the degree of physiological immaturity, then infection, then congenital malformation, then maternal sedation or analgesia, then neuromuscular disorders. Yeah, next, moving on to the transitional assessment. Over this transitional assessment, periods for reactivity. Then first period of reactivity and second period of reactivity. We are having two things. So first period of reactivity is for 6 to 8 hours after birth. So initial stage of alertness and activity. So here in the initial stage of alertness and activity, that during the first 30 minutes, the infant is very alert, cries vigorously, very interested in the environment. The neonat's eyes are usually open. The newborn has a vigorous suck. This is an opportunity time to begin breastfeeding for the child. Then transitional assessments, particularly if you're seeing the physiologically, the respiratory rate is high as 80 breaths per minute. Crackles may be heard. Heart rate reaches 180 beats per minute. Bowel sounds are active. Mucous secretions are increased, and temperature may decrease. Then this is about the first period of reactivity at the time of 6 to 7 hours. Then last 2 to 4 hours. The last 2 to 4 hours, heart and respiratory rate decreases, temperature continues to fall, mucus production decreases, and urine or stool is usually not passed. The infant is in a state of sleep and relative calm. So, undressing or bathing is avoided during this time. So, during this transitional second period of reactivity, the child begins when the infant awakes from the deep sleep. That is after the first stage of having a complete feeding. Then after the feeding, the child goes for sleep. After the sleep cycle has been completed, then the child is wake up for the second cycle. Second cycle, the child begins with, after wake up from the deep sleep, lasts for 2 to 5 hours. The infant is again alert and responsive. Heart and respiratory rate once again increases. Then gag reflex is active. Gastric and respiratory secretions are increased. Then possibility are there, passage of meconium frequently occurs. This period is usually over when the amount of respiratory mucus has decreased. After this stage is a period of stabilization of physiological system and a vacillating pattern of sleep and activity. This is about the transitional assessment. So transitional assessment, near about it takes the first cycle where the child is getting active, dry and having the feeding, and after that the child goes for sleep. So it takes about 5 to 6 hours. Then after that, the child coming for the second stage of reactivity, waking up from the sleep cycle, and the child once again become active. And here possibility are there to pass the meconium, where which indicates the child was physiologically adjusted to the process. The next, clinical assessment of gestational age. A frequent used method of determining gestational age is the simplified assessment of gestational age by Ballard score 1979. It assesses 6 external physical and 6 neuromuscular signs. So each sign has a number score and a cumulative score. Correlate with a maturity rating from 20 to 44 weeks of gestation. So first one is weight related to gestational age. That is, birth weight alone is a poor indicator of gestational age and fetal maturity. Then second one is maturity, functional capacity, the degree to which the neonate's organ systems are able to adapt to the extrauterine life. Okay, so here the clinical assessment of the gestational age, classification of infants at both by both birth weight and gestational age provides more satisfactory method for predicting mortality risk and providing guidelines for management of neonate care. Then only estimating the weight alone. So appropriate of gestational age. AGA, appropriate for gestational age, the infant whose weight is between 10th and 90th percentile can be presumed to have grown at a normal rate regardless of the time of birth, preterm, term or postterm. So large for gestational age, about above 90th percentage can be presumed to have grown at an accelerated rate during fetal life. Then small for gestational age, infant below 10th percentile can be assumed to have intrauterine growth retardation. So with this one we can able to identify. Then physical assessment of the newborn. Physical assessment of the newborn, general measurement, vital signs, general appearance, posture, head to toe assessment, like head to toe, including all the concept, the neuromuscular assessment. So over this, if you are coming for the nursing care of the newborn, so about the physical assessment and Ballard score, we'll see detail in the forthcoming classes. Or it's a revision only because already we gone through these topics. Maintain a patient airway. Then initially at delivery room, what the airway has to be, the secretions has to be removed. So what do you want to do? Here subsequent normal nursery, maintain stable body temperature, the cause of heat losses. So what are the possibility of all the four methods we have to avoid? That is evaporation, radiation, conduction and convections. So over this possibility are there, evaporation, the loss of heat through moisture, major cause. Then radiation, the loss of heat to cooler solid objects in the environment. Then conduction, loss of heat from the body because of direct contact of skin with the cooler objects. So directly the child should not be placed on the any objects. Then convection is the similar to conductions, except the heat loss is aided by surrounding air currents as direct flow of the air from air conditioner ventilations or near the below the fan or near to the window, which is going to affect the child temperature maintenance. Then the third one is protect from infection and injuries. Hand washing, maintain the proper aseptic technique. Then common practice in newborn nurseries is the use of cover gloves, gowns to prevent infection, or PPE, all the PPE has to be maintained. Then eye care, umbilical care, bathing should be avoided till the umbilical cord falls, then care of the circumcisions. Then vitamin K is administered to protect against hemorrhages. Then proper identifications of any major problems. Then screening tests are used to detect various disorders. And the next one is provide optimal nutrition. So over the optimal nutrition, if you're coming, selection of a feeding method is one of the major decision faced by the parents. Their choice are human milk and commercial prepared cow milk or based formula based milk, or nowadays we are having a milk bank, or we can go for soya bean milk, which is the optional, which should be used for the child. Those who are having a mother, those who are having complication of child, those who are having complication in case of suckling. Until unless the breastfeeding has to be encouraged. Then promote parent-infant bonding, attachment, infant behavior, maternal attachment, parental attachment, then siblings. The next, if you are coming, prefer for discharge and home care. Early newborn discharge checklist, where we have to have the checklist related to feeding, elimination, circumcision, then then cord, care, then vital signs, then activity, newborn screening. So over here, we have to give a checklist for the parents regarding feeding, how the child is having the response to the feeding, vigorously sucking, how was the pattern during the sucking time, what was the child pulse rate or the respiratory rate, is there any sound or any uh, problem while the child is having the sucking, or during after the feeding, what the child nature of behavior, or whether the child was getting tired soon and feeling hunger frequently, whether the stomach was full or not. This has to be identified. Then elimination, whether the elimination pattern was properly moving or not. Approximate level of urine passed out of feces, how many times the child is having the bowel and bladder movements. Then circumcisions, or if case of circumcisions are present, how to take care of them, how to assess them, that has to be informed to the parent. Then color, how to assess the child color, any color change is present over the umbilicus, over the eye, over the nail buds, over the entire body, like jaundice or for cyanosis. So that has to be informed to the parents. Then cord, how to take care of the cord. So they should not cover the cord, umbilical cord, with a diaper, or they should not overly let it be exposed to the open environment, and it takes 7 to 10 days for healing down. They should not plug it off, they should not apply any cream or any other things over there. Just assess for the cord, any outer or any color changes or any abnormality when the child is crying or any discharges from the cord. Then vital signs, how to assess the vital signs, we have to inform to the parents regarding the child deviations from the vital signs. Then activity of the child, what are the movements and how active the child has to be present. Then newborn screening, this has to be informed to the parents, as well as the nurse has to be prepared very well for this activity. So this is about today's topic we had discussed, and have a revision about the nursing care of newborn baby. Okay. So about the physical examination, we'll have a separate class for the physical examination. Thank you.